Once upon a time,
there was a mother who was in the kitchen washing the dishes.
Everybody, here we go. Splash, 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 splash.
You did it.
And milking the cow. Put your arms out like this.
There's the cow.
But no milk came out. The cow mooed sadly.
Oh. The mother called to her son. Jack!
Jack burst into the room, slamming the door. And he looked at his mother and he said,
What do you want, Mom? I'm taking the cow.
No, you're telling him. Take the cow. Stay here.
Take the cow to the market and sell him. And make sure you get lots of money. Because we're really poor.
Said the mother, convincingly.
Sure thing, Mummykin.
Oh, she loved it when he called her Mummykin, so she blew him a big wet kiss.
He took it right on the cheek.
Yeah. And then the mother went off to relax and watch daytime television the rest of the day.
Jack stood by the cow, and together the two of them walked on the spot to market.
On the way, they saw a weird hippie. On the side of the road, he took one look. This hand. He took one look at the cow and he said, "Peace and who that? She's for sale." At that, he pulled some beans out of his pocket and he held them out and said,
Do you want to trade for some beans? Beans? Yeah, they're magic. Magic? And groovy. Groovy? Groovy, baby, yeah.
Before the bean seller could change his mind, Jack grabbed the beans and he gave the cow to the bean seller.
and the cow mooed happily.
Moo!
And then the cow burst into the happy moo moo song. Hit it, cow.
Sing. Moo, 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 moo.
And the crowd went wild with applause. And went off with the hippie to live happily ever after, eating alfalfa and wearing Birkenstocks, and never once shaved their legs.
Jack didn't know that the cow had a singing voice, but he was happy. He had the beans in his hand. And he got really excited. He ran all the way home to tell his mother the good news.
The mother was in the kitchen washing the dishes.
Jack burst into the room, slamming the door. As he looked at his mother, he had the beans in his hands. He jumped up and down and he said,
Mother, we're rich!
as he handed her the magic beans.
She took the beans and looked at her kid like he was completely nuts.
These are just beans.
Wait a sec, we'll get to that.
Beans! You foolish child!
And she threw the beans out the window, hitting that kid in the face.
Yeah.
And then she told Jack where to go. Go to your room.
Go to your room!
Jack was so upset he cried. And
Beans!
he cried. And he cried.
Knock it off!
So he did. He turned around. He stopped all the way to his room.
Yeah, go to your room. At that, the mother threw down her dish towel, hitting that kid in the face. And then she said,
Kids these days.
and then she went off to play video games the rest of the afternoon.
Video games. The next morning, Jack woke up and he walked down out of his room and he stood by the narrator facing the audience and he gave a big stretch into the sky with both hands. Both hands. He yawned and he stretched. He touched his toes. He pulled on his underwear. There you go. He looked out the window and he saw a big giant beanstalk growing out of the ground where his mother had thrown the beans and he said,
Wow. Beanstalk. I think I'll climb it.
Jack jumped out the window. He opened that window first. Yeah, he opened the window. He started to climb. He climbed and climbed and climbed. By the time he got to the top and looked around, he saw a big, huge castle in the distance and said,
Wow. A castle! I wonder what's
So Jack burst into the room, slamming the door. And he hid it very quickly
Because a giant appeared, saying,
3, 5, 4, 1. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
they've been practicing.
and the giant searched. Yes, clap for these
Yeah, clap for the giant.
All right, so they sniffed all over the castle, trying to figure out where that stinky boy smell was coming from. Probably the grade 5 room. But anyways, they backed up. The giant backed up
Like in Fort McMurray.
and sat on the giant's throne. Then the giant called to the disco duck, using one word at a
Get your
time.
bill on.
coming
Get
out
your
of
bill
each
on.
end.
Hello.
Me,
Hello.
disco, duck.
Demanded the quiet giant. The duck stood here.
What are you
And
doing?
dancing, we're not doing
What?
that yet.
She got your character mixed up.
Where's your wings, you silly duck? Thank you,
Yeah.
I ordered wings. I want my wings. All right, so now,
Chicken wings.
the giant ordered the duck to lay an egg of solid gold, using a complete sentence that you make up all by yourself.
Lay, egg,
And
egg, right now.
demanded the weird giant. And at that, the duck laid an egg. Everybody has to sing disco, disco. Duck, ready? The duck laid an egg. Everybody. Disco, disco, duck.
An egg of solid gold.
Clap, clap, clap.
Keep track of your bills.
Oh, the duck gave that egg to the
The
giant.
giant tossed it to his other hand in a really coordinated way that was much like a circus clown juggler. And then the giant patted the duck on the head
Oh.
and fell into a deep sleep, snoring like a pig. They can do that part, right?
Jack was in his hiding spot, but he saw his opportunity. The giant was asleep, so he went and he grabbed the disco duck. No, the disco duck right over there. And he started to climb down the beanstalk to tell his mother the good news. With the
Meanwhile,
duck.
the mother was in the kitchen washing the dishes. Everybody.
Jack, along with the... Hey, Duck, put your bill back on. I'm in the house now. Jack burst into the room along with the duck. And he jumped up and
Slammed
down.
the door.
And he looked at his mother. He jumped up and down and said,
Mother, we're rich.
as he handed her the magical duck.
And at that, the duck laid an egg. Everybody, disco, disco, duck.
An egg of solid gold. Jack handed that to his mother.
The mother took the egg and exclaimed,
We're stinking rich.
and she said,
Let's go shopping.
and so they did. They shopped and shopped and shopped and spent all the gold. The mother kept demanding and demanding that the duck lay golden eggs after golden eggs. And sadly, one day,
The
duck died.
Give a big death scene there.
Died.
Quack.
Big round of applause for
Big round of
that.
applause for that duck.
Very emotional. The dawn of the living duck, you know. Be dead,
Her
stay
mother is
dead.
this way. There you go.
The mother exclaimed,
Oh no, the duck's dead. Go up the beanstalk, Jack. Sure thing, Mammakin.
she loved it when he called her mummykins, so she blew him another big wet kiss. Mwah.
Ah, you took it right on the cheek.
Yes, and then the mother grabbed the duck and a box of shake and bake, here you go, grabbed the duck by the legs and hauled it off and made supper.
Shaken duck. Oh, Jack was very excited. He wanted to get back as quickly as he could with some more treasure. So he climbed that beanstalk. He climbed it. Yep. No, just go. Climb. First we have to go out the window again. No. And he ran to the castle and he burst into the room slamming the door.
Slam!
Very quickly
A
because...
giant appeared, saying, jump up quick, say it.
3, 5, 4, 1. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Said the giant.
Let's get off the stage.
English man. Okay, but anyways, the giant searched all over the castle, trying to figure out where that boy smell was coming from. It's a stinky boy smell, I gotta say it. But the giant gave up and sat on his throne and called to his magical disco harp.
Come here, disco duck.
The duck's dead. It's the harp. Said the confused
The
giant.
harp appeared before the giant in his magical way.
And then the giant told the harp to play a song of wisdom, knowing that whoever received wisdom from this magical harp would be wise. So, are you ready? Ask him.
Play a song of wisdom.
Said the giant, who needed more coffee. And then that number, it's I love the nightlife, and he says, I want a boogie. So everybody, the harp began to play. Start dancing and I love the nightlife.
I want a boogie.
I love the nightlife.
I want a
Dance, you guys. I love the nightlife.
I love a boogie.
I love the nightlife. I love the nightlife. On the disco ride. Yeah. And for some unknown reason, this put the giant into a deep sleep, snoring like a pig.
Oh.
Really.
Jack once again saw his opportunity to grab the harp, and he started to climb down that beanstalk to tell his mother the good news. But halfway down, the harp.
See, you're confusing him now.
What you did to me. The harp called out,
Master, help.
At that, the giant woke up, jumped to his feet, and let out a ferocious roar. Yes, and chased down the beanstalk.
Here, hold on to that baseball.
While the mother was in the kitchen, washing the dishes.
Jack, along with the harp, burst into the room, slamming the door. He was really frightened, and he told his mom,
Mother, get the axe.
She handed him an amazing invisible axe. With it, he ran to the beanstalk. Everybody help him with 4 chops. Yell
Here
it.
we go,
Chop, 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 chop.
the giant fell and fell and fell into a deep hole, never to be seen again.
Jack, come here, Jack. With the wise advice of the this is your favorite part, isn't it?
You need a pillow?
I'm just relaxing for a while. With the wise advice of the all-knowing harp, Jack and his mother were finally filled with wisdom, and at last they knew everything to do, and they were never, ever poor again.
And of course, Jack wrote down his memoirs, his story. It can be heard across the world today in many different languages, and it's called
Jack and the Beanstalk.
And it's called
Jack and